All right, guys, DF looks now at the influence of the alliance of Russia, Iran, and Turkey, as well as the media coverage following the assassination of Andrei Karlov.
The murder of an ambassador is a political sin, anathema, taboo. It cannot be justified. Still, didn't stop the media from trying.
One thing is already clear. This assassination is blowback for Russian involvement in the Syrian civil war.
It does appear from all of the reports that we're putting together that this was connected to Syria, that this was some kind of an act of vengeance for Russia's involvement.
And not a word about the daily shelling and killing committed by militants in Aleppo. Still, that was mild. A former board member of Al Jazeera, a network that all but openly backs rebels, went even further in a series of tweets.
The ambassador was at the exhibition, which was open to everyone. Turkey shouldn't be embarrassed because of this act. Russia deserves the worst. It was a human response to Russian barbarism in Syria. The scene will be repeated with the killing of ambassadors to other countries sympathetic with Russian criminality in Aleppo.
The ambassador she is talking about played a critical part in securing the evacuation of Aleppo rebels, saving thousands of lives. But no, the pundits don't care. This US publication compared him to a Nazi, said the murder was justified, and questioned why no one killed him sooner. After all, Washington's got a right to be worried. Its power in Syria is waning.
Iran, Russia and Turkey are ready to contribute to the agreement between the Syrian government and the opposition and to act as its guarantors.
Russia, Iran and Turkey, the three countries that hold the aces in Syria, the trio that resolved the humanitarian catastrophe in Aleppo.
Iran, Russia and Turkey have been able in the past 5 days to help evacuate innocent civilians from Aleppo, as well as enable the terrorist groups to leave the city.
They are the triumvirate that wield the most power over both Assad and the rebels.
It's not clear what all the motives, at least from the public material of the murderer, were, whether it was thought out as intending to destabilize relations.
It didn't work. The assassination only strengthened the trio's resolve. And if they start working together, what need is there of the US or Europe?
So Mr. Kerry doesn't see it as a snub?
No, the Secretary doesn't see this as a snub at all.
Well, does he not at least feel the U.S. is being sidelined, if not excluded, from what was something the U.S. was leading on?
We are not excluded.
Right now, this leadership that you're speaking of is all past tense. Is that not true?
I would disagree.
They don't seem to want him to be involved.
Well, they can speak for who they want involved or not. I mean, we recognize that we weren't invited, that this was between Russia, Turkey and Iran.
The US and Europe spent billions funding the rebels and yet could not persuade them to abide by any ceasefire or disentangle themselves from Al-Qaeda. Not even the UN's incessant calls for peace made any difference.
I think I lost my voice urging Mr. Staffan de Mistura to stop sabotaging political negotiations.
What the US, Europe and the UN could not achieve for years, a ceasefire followed by a tangible result, was done in mere days by Russia, Turkey and Iran. Herein lays the question. What do they need the West for? Morad Gazdiev, RT.